What's our sales potential? We're all selling a product, service, or idea to someone. How would we see our life when we maximize our performance and profit? When we connect with our potential that we were designed into us? It allows us to experience not only our work, but also our relationships at an enjoyable level. The workshop and assessment give us a chance to get reacquainted with who we were designed to be by the universe or God or whatever our belief system. The 3 hour workshop is separated into 3 days so our brain can absorb the new motivation and behavior change. J.W. Wilson, my mentor and author of Cracking the Learning Code, was not only known as a world leader in this science, he built $21 million businesses and taught Mayo Clinic's doctors to connect with their patients, among many other things. This is Les Simpson of Enhanced Team Performance. Below in the details is a flyer of the workshop, also with white paper and testimonial of the assessment. Included is a video link to my assessment. It shows who we are in all 6 areas of our life and was created in the 80s and was proprietary to the Fortune 500 for 30 years. Now I'm bringing it to companies and individuals that want to maximize their work and relationships. Get back with my team leader that sent you this video to join their workshop.
Hey, everybody, and that team leader would be me. I'm asking you to join us as we do this three session program that Les is teaching. And Les, can you tell us a little bit about some of the experiences others have had with this program?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is it's kind of like I was on a meeting today or yesterday, and the lady I was telling her about the book, Cracking the Learning Code, and she said, "Well, I have this other book that I'm studying." I says, "That's fine. We're not in competition with a book." And I said, "But you're not going to get anything out of it until you understand the learning code that allows it." And she says, "What do you mean?" She says, "Right now I'm pretty excited about it." And I says, "Of course you are. That's a dopamine hit." I have a question for you. How many times have you bought something and you very seldom ever open your closet to wear it? She was shocked. And I says, "That is the course you're taking now. Just like we do any college course or business course. Until we connect into the emotions, it doesn't stick. So after she completes it, she will forget uh, 3/4 of it in 10 to 15 days." And she says, "So how do I?" And I start to tell her about her emotions. And she says, "That sounds like a lot of work." And I said, "It is." I mean, we have been taught wrong
Yeah.
on how to connect with our own self and our meaning network. And until it gets into the meaning network, it does not proceed with us in life. The brain does not want information that's useless. And so for our particular, and we've been taught, unfortunately, in school, Before we entered school, we had all kinds of interesting imaginations. One know about trees, one know plants, bugs, everything there was. When we sat down on our first time, we were handed a book, and we said, now you're going to start studying this because the teacher had a curriculum you had to get through, which they believed after 12 years you would have enough to live life. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. In fact, most people are surprised when they think that we only remember about 5% of the 12 years we put ourselves through because it was not us. And that's one of the things is the first 2 hours, Monday and Wednesday, first hour is getting a person to know who they are and how to connect and how to learn and how to appreciate other people because that's one of the things, and that's where I tell the story also about my the wind chimes on the porch. Uh,
Wonderful story, by the way. And I love the way that, I'm sorry for interrupting,
oh,
but
no problem.
I do have to say this. I loved it when we were talking with your wife there and we were telling that story. She kind of was taken aback hearing that story. She was just
Yeah,
like, it kind of took her off guard that you would use that as an example. And I thought that was really neat. So, but please continue. I had to get that in though.
sure, sure. Well, it was very simple. One of the things that JW told me, and to clarify, when JW and I met, he says, Les, I'm going to teach you a new language. I says, okay, what's that? And he says, emotions. He says, every single action we take, every single decision we make has to be based on an emotion. And and he says, once you understand that we were all created to be part of a community. An example: some of us are architects, some of us are mechanics, some of us musicians. Well, when the musician needs a house, he needs the architect. When the architect wants to relax after a hard day, he needs a musician. We all need everybody else. And we were taught in school to be against everybody else. We were taught to be better than everybody else. And it completely shuts down the brain as far as receiving information the way it is because the brain was not designed for competition against others. It was designed for competition against our last ability to get better. And that's one of the things that I teach in the first hour is getting reconnected with ourselves and how it works and how to start understanding emotions and how to realize that emotions are the basis of everything. The second hour is connecting with others. Um, and just like talks about there, we're all selling something. We're selling an idea, we're selling a belief, we're selling something. But that person isn't going to buy anything because we receive thousands of messages a day trying to get our attention. Fortunately, our brain was designed to block every single one of them unless they have personal meaning for us today. And what I teach people is how to connect with the other person's meaning network that day. And that's the second hour. And then the third hour is when we talk about we are all created with certain talents, abilities, and interests, that architect. If that architect tries to be a anthologist with bugs, might not make it because he wasn't designed that way. And so the next part is I go through the 6 areas in our brain, our mind, that have, we do our work with, we do our relationships with, and we grow by. And that's when, once I show that, I mention, people say, okay, well, where do I fit in here? That's when the assessment comes out. And the assessment was created in the 1980s. and it was created by a Christian businessman. In fact, I found out a couple weeks ago he actually taught courses in colleges on connecting, and he also taught in the Denver Seminary, and he had pastors figure out who should be on their staff and so forth to get the job done. And so this assessment is the only one out there that covers all six. And one of the things that under the link that Zach has is a 6 minute that we're going to be playing.
Yeah.
Now the 6 minute is only 1/4 of the video directory. See, this assessment, after you take the 9 parts of it, some are 15 minutes, some are 30 minutes, some are 45 minutes. And each one of them are strictly multiple choice. You answer the question by what you feel inside that would make you best. And you answer that. And let's say that, and this was designed for busy people. What I mean by that is, let's say you have 15 minutes, you take the 15-minute one. I don't have a half hour to take the next one. And so it sends a link to your email, and then you click on it, go to the 30 minutes. And then when you have 45 minutes, you go back. Well, once you've done all 9, then within a week to 2, you get the video. And what I reduced, and there is a 26-minute if anybody wants to see that. I think Zach still has that link. But I put the six in there because it's so creative. And it shows my values, my interests, or talents and abilities. And he really goes through and shows all this. And when you see that in yourself, first off, one of the ways that J.W. Wilson turned around at-risk schools that were full of gangs and drugs is see, these kids did not believe they had any value. That's the
Yep.
reason they joined the gangs, and they didn't feel good, and so they took the drugs. The two things JW said all the time, and see, when a kid is young, they can receive this. Because one of the things, unfortunately, the book talks about is the more we shut down our emotions, the more the different parts in our brains disconnect, and we can no longer connect with it. And that's why JW said this will be a process. Once a person starts looking at their emotions, then their brain has to rebuild all of those connections. But they rebuild fast because that's who we were designed to be. And that's why I started studying with JW 2.5 years ago, and I can't believe how much, but it is a journey. Like you said, it is not overnight. We've messed ourselves up over years. Now it'll take a while to redo it. But my point being that once you're back on track, then it's like he said, you plan it, you try to get education and let God do it. He said many times you'll find things come into your life you didn't plan on, because once you're on track, both. Oh, that's what I was going to say to the kids. He told them there's a force far beyond them. They could believe in the universe or they could believe God, but somebody wanted them to be good at something, and you had it in them already to do it. And so within a couple of years, he reduced gang activity and drugs just by showing the kids who they were and asking them, so what's meaningful for you for today? And he'd ask them that all the time, and they'd have to think, oh, for me, not the gang member, not the head, not the teacher, what's meaningful for me today? And so you have to go into your emotions to find that.
I think one of the more beautiful things about what you're saying is and what JW did was he walked up to these kids and he told them, or he simply asked them, "What are you good at?" And we as kids, Les, I'm doing an exercise right now where I'm trying to remember back to when I was growing up and back to when I started to focus on some certain things, and it's hard for me to do a lot of that. But let's one of the things that proves your point right here is the one class, other than my art classes were always important to me. Okay, my art was a way that I could take and I could release myself, so it was important to me. But there was one class where the teacher mixed the music of an era with the history going on in that era. And it was something that really spoke to me. And
Yep.
that's exactly that teacher, even if he didn't realize back then what he was doing exactly what you're saying. We are we're interesting kids in something that, you know what, music and youth, it's always going to be there. Kids love
Mhm.
music, kids, and discovering new music and all this other stuff. So but that was the one class at all the classes I took in school, other than the art classes, that was the one class I can still to this day remember being there. I mean, and and it's because he took something emotional
Yep.
inside of us
Yep.
and we learned about something that they needed us to learn.
Yep.
And that's truly the reason why we do learn so much as we get older, is because, you know what, we don't have people telling us stuff anymore.
Right.
We
But
have stuff
we
that
still believe it.
right, we have stuff coming in that is important to us.
Yep.
We have lives now that make things that come into our heads more important.
Yep.
So,
Very much so.
yeah, and by the way, if you want to see another example of and Les is correct, we're going to play that 6 minute assessment at the end of when Les and I are done talking here. But if you go back to the playlist of the Mission for Healthy Heroes and find Les a segment in there, you can see his wife talk about her assessment. So you can get a second look at that, because we did make sure that we talked a little bit about that assessment as well. So 3 hours, 3 hours is that is so digestible, but you really, this isn't rocket science. This is just trying to get you to understand something that deep down we all pretty much already know, right?
Yep. Yep. And that's why one of the things that I'll tell everybody, the workshop is $299. As I tell everybody, if you listen to this part and if you do it, the $299 is paid for. Anytime you're going to study anything, you're studying a book, you're studying a course, you want to study a new sport, we've been taught that as you study and you get tired, grab a cup of coffee, study harder, make it go in your brain. Actually, that's what not the opposite of what your brain wants. In fact, JW has a whole chapter on it. When that happens, you're tired, ask inside, do we have enough? Are we full? If it's there, quit. Sleep on it. 80% of all of our learning happens while we sleep. And when JW on his book, by the way, his book, Cracking the Learning Code, it's 750 pages. It's got 38 chapters. First off, it is made for both the layman and the scientist. What I mean by that is every single chapter, it starts out and he says, okay, now if you have enough, go to the next chapter. If it's grabbed your curiosity, it's filled, go to the next chapter. If you want to understand science, continue to read. And then he talks about hormones and peptides and dendrites and everything you can possibly think of. And you can read it, and gradually some of it starts sinking in. But my point being, I was reading it, and I thought, man, I haven't got nothing. And I remember what he said, stop Sleep on it. I couldn't believe how much it organized in my mind and I understood the next day. So the whole chapter, and one of the things about his book, this is not somebody that threw up a few ideas together on a book like so many
Right,
people
right,
do.
yeah,
This book has 30 years of study, over $9 million worth of studies, and over 800 references to other specialists around the world that say the same thing. And so that's why JW was known as the world leader in the study of neuroscience for motivation and behavior change. Because and it talks about how to get it into the brain for motivation and behavior change. And there's only two ways, and that is one, if you receive information, you have to act on it. And when you act on it, you have to listen inside.
yeah.
Okay, is that for me? Do I like that? Does it push me away? And then once you get that reaction, then you continue or you don't because it's not you. And if it is you, then you try it again and you do it 2 or 3 times, then it goes into long term memory. The other way is if you're trying to learn something, and this again is worth your $2.99. Ask yourself why I want to study this course. What is it going to give me? And you might have to go 3 layers deep. That's why I teach people 3 layers deep. Okay, I want to have a license. Okay, that's one level. Now, if you have that license, what will it give you emotionally? Oh, I'll feel good about myself. Okay, and why will you feel good about yourself? Well, all my friends have it. Okay, next level, your friends have it. What will this give you if you're the same as all your friends? Now, one of two things that happen here. You're going to go back to your childhood because you wanted to be like your friends. And then you'll find out you didn't need it anyway for that purpose. Or you'll find out, okay, I want to be like my friends because I want to really support them. Then you might be at the level of your emotions to make the decision. Once you find out what the base of your emotions is, then your brain takes another uh, direction and actually helps you absorb it. Otherwise, it's just junk that your brain's trying to keep out. And this is why I teach my workshop.
One of um, one of the ways that you always try to make sure that people understand what they're doing correctly is to walk up to a current happy customer and talk to them and ask them, what am I doing right?
Yep.
And this is a point that I think I think in my own personal way of thinking, I think this is a way that you can I, I see this as being so smart because you're finding out, look, this is what is winning
Yep.
with this person. That doesn't mean it's going to work with everyone, but I know for a fact it works with him. So, and follow up. Okay, what would you like to see me work on? Or there's so many things that you can go off just finding out, what am I doing right? What about me is keeping you coming back to me?
Yep. And then what feeling that they're getting from working with me than others. And if they say, well, the reason I'm with you is because I had somebody else and they didn't solve this problem. And what were the consequences of that? And so they tell you, well, because if especially a supervisor position, I wasn't able to give my people the right information. And so now you're at the decision level. And if you do that with 3 or 5 clients and you find out it's continual, then you know who your ideal client is. And the two things you do, and this, by the way, this is in my second hour workshop, is you find out who your ideal client is, and you've gained two things. Number one, you've gained their trust. because now they realize you really care about their emotions. Number two, you've gained the stories that, well, this other guy hasn't done this. Well, tell me about that. So now the next time you're talking to a prospect and you're listening to what they say and they bring out something, now you have a story to match it, and the story will immediately go to their emotions.
Yeah.
And I teach that in the second hour.
Again, this is not, look, this isn't cramming for a final,
Yep,
okay? Because cramming for a final was it was just an imbecilic way of teaching people. You
yep,
know, I mean, think back. What do you remember ever from a final?
yep.
I I remember failing a lot of them.
Well,
But
what's interesting is JW's book, What is Intelligence? One of the things JW told me all the time, in fact, he would walk up to people and say, "How you did in school?" Well, as an A student. And he'd tell them, ask them a couple questions, say, "Yes, that's me." And his chapter on intelligence, see, it takes a different skill set to take a test and do well on it than doing well in life. They actually did studies for people who have valedictorians and so forth, didn't do that well in life because they didn't have any tests to take. They have to adapt and understand what to do in life, and that's not test taking. And so that's one of the things that unfortunately our system still teaches is if you pass the test, and the testing was designed for social to keep people separate from other people is why all the tests were designed by Aristotle and Socrates and others to separate the farmers and so forth. That's why he told the farmers that came in, "You know nothing, I know everything. I'm going to tell you, you memorize it and give it back to me." And but he has a whole book on chapter on intelligence, which is very interesting. But
I I just know that look, JW is on to something amazing, and the one thing that I definitely remember about the man was you met him and you knew that he had studied this. You knew that he understood what he was saying, and he could tell you, you
yep,
know, flaws in other ways of people doing things, and he didn't come out and I mean he wasn't crude or crass about it, but
right.
he was just a really good person. Hey guys, one of the things that you can do to get a hold of Les is the QR code up here in the corner. That is Les's new badge. All you have to do is scan that. It takes you to his code. You'll be able to see the 26-minute full video of his assessment. But once again, here in a minute, we are going to watch a shortened, a more precise video, which is only 6 minutes of his assessment. We are looking for people to join our team to answer these questions to find your answer to, are you ready to maximize your potential? So reach out to me, reach out to Les, and we can make this happen. Les, do we have anything else that we want to talk about today?
No, I believe that's it.
So,
Oh, yes, I do one other thing. I'm going to be on a nationwide directory for special needs people. And so if you know anybody that's special needs, they're going to have all kinds of resources. And one of the things they're going to have is all kinds of employers that want to employ them. And so this assessment will be used there. The employers will pay for it for the people that can't for the 275. And by the way, the assessment's usually 299. When you use the code that's in the link, that gets it down to 275. My team. And but if you know anybody that employers that want to hire special needs, or if you know people in special needs that need help, I will have a link. It's going to go active on the 17th, and so this is going to be a nationwide directory for that. So anybody that is special needs and needs help, and it'll have a tremendous list people that also handles. And my wife's going to be on it for depression and anxiety because that's what the heart sync that she studies. In fact, we probably need a time where we explain that much more on the modality that she uses for depression and anxiety. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
we should definitely get her on and talk about that sometime. Hey, Les, this course, real quick, one last thing. This course, who is it perfect for?
Um, Really perfect for people that are tired of trying to fight all of the tides and get back to who they are. And but the people that I have host a workshop are business coaches, HR and operation consultants, executive recruiters, and if you know any groups that have both the employee and the companies wanting to employ them, that's perfect because I'm going to be doing that for veterans next month in Colorado Springs. There's 1,000 companies that want to hire veterans, and we're going to be educating them on why to use this assessment. So,
Well, that's fantastic. So please reach out to Les, LES at csccourse.com, Les at csccourse.com, or you can call him at 303-579-6881. Once again, 303-579-6881. Thank you so very much, Les. I'm going to let you walk on out of here, and then we're going to play your shortened video. But again, if you want to see the full video, you can go to his landing page by scanning this code, and you can watch the full video.
sounds
So thank
good.
you, Les. Okay, again, that's our monthly meeting with Les Simpson. His program is it's amazing because, like I was just talking about, I don't remember a lot about school. I'm going through this little project that I'm doing, and I don't remember a lot because they weren't speaking to me. They were speaking for the system. So it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me. So Uh, once again, this is a shortened version. We've played the 26-minute version quite a few times. This one is much, much shorter. And then I will be back after this and we will close this one out with talking about a couple things that we have coming up. So this is the Les Simpson assessment. So I will be back in a minute. Please enjoy this.
Have the perfect answer at first. Moving on to our advanced assessments, we'll go ahead and start off with the interest. They are the what. A couple things to bring to note in regards to this individual. Persuasion is going to be one of the big tools. They are interested in being persuasive. They are gifted in being persuasive, and they value being persuasive. This is going to be very good in a sales situation, trying to motivate people to come along with a decision or to be able to address a problem. It could very well be beneficial in a sales support or even a sales situation. We see their first of their two leadership interests. They are able to develop and organize a business community through such skills as problem solving. Again, this is a strength in this particular design. And then motivational leadership. This is going to be tied closely to their persuasive skills, but their ability to be able to lead people to accomplish personal goals by strategizing. This is a great team dynamic capability and very necessary in a leadership role. That is what they are interested in. So these are the sort of jobs and abilities that you want to direct them towards, and tasks, I should say. Abilities, we're looking at somebody that is fairly dominant in the persuasion area. A third of their giftings are in that area. And then in addition to that, they are also given certain leadership capability, independence and self-management. With their creative abilities, you're looking at the ability to be able to use their imagination to develop new and innovative concepts. So this is going to be a great team member to partner with creative people as long as the refining aspect of the individual is not misinterpreted by the creative team. They're going to be able to see solutions. They're going to be able to come up with ways to innovate around a problem. Also, going down here, they are self-motivated. They do not need a lot of micromanagement. In fact, I would encourage simply to be put in a position of trust and authority and not micromanaged or overly controlled in this area. Though oversight is going to be necessary to make sure that they've come to the right conclusion. Finally, this is the value section, and this is why. Of all the things that we've talked about, this is one of the most important aspects for this individual and for all people. As Simon Sinek said, this is the why. This is what causes great organizations and people to be so motivated to be able to develop a better phone, develop a better platform, to innovate, to come over and to come up with ideas to overcome problems. We see a number of leadership qualities here: being persuasive, being influential. It's important for them to make an impact. And then also, even in this particular area, that this is not a dominant leadership element, developing potential. This individual is going to be very good at getting the best out of your team between the motivational leadership and their problem-solving, creative, innovative approach to work and to whatever is placed before them. They're going to bring to this a tremendous amount of creative, problem-solving, persuasive leadership in the team. So if I was to look to motivate this individual and to give you a rough synopsis, I would say you definitely want to give them an opportunity to be able to be in leadership, where they will be able to use their persuasive skills to be able to manage and to help people. The counseling aspect that they were interested is the coaching aspect. So they're going to be especially good at helping people come to decisions, to actually be able to join in with the team approach, to be able to become who it is that they were best suited to be. These are powerful strengths within this individual and things that they are generally interested in. If a person is not interested in motivational leadership or developing potential, I don't care how much you pay them, they're not going to do a good job. This individual will do a great job in that particular area. I would say that their ability to be able to lead is going to be enhanced by, again, their problem-solving giftings, but most importantly, their leadership and persuasion capabilities. And they will personally be motivated by the internal values of developing that potential, creative solutions, and also something that we didn't talk about, they like a challenge. You don't want to saddle this person with mundane problems. You want to give something that is really going to cause them to have to work and to invest themselves. This particular person would be a tremendous asset to any team, would really flourish under a strong developer, and would really benefit any organization that has challenges that they are faced with that are a little bit above and beyond the norm. That concludes our lateral analysis of this client. Please again, go to the
Community Pay It Forward isn't just another rewards program. It's a movement built on compassion and connection. We link everyday businesses, nonprofits, and neighbors, so simple actions like buying lunch, getting your car fixed, or hiring a service can create lasting impact. When you choose one of our giving partners, part of your purchase goes directly to families, veterans, children, or community missions in need. It doesn't cost you a dime more. It just means your purchases matter. Because here, every transaction tells a story. And our belief is simple: if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Because at Community Pay It Forward, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Hello, world. My name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for. Thank you.
Hey friends, I've been thinking, we all have our strengths, right? There are things I'm great at and things I'm definitely not great at. I can talk to anyone, anywhere, but ask me to add something to a website or an app. Yeah, that's where things get a little messy. Oops, I love speaking, I love sharing stories. But social media, all those hashtags, algorithms, trends, that's a jungle I still haven't mapped out. Now, coming up with ideas that bring people together, that's my sweet spot. But bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I have agreed to stay in separate corners. And you know what? That's okay, because someone out there is good at those things. And when we work together, that's when the magic happens. Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every single one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us strong on our own, but imagine how powerful we become when we combine them. That's the heart of Community Pay It Forward. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working side by side to make a real difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's discover it together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.
Hey, folks, speaking on that, we are in dire need of a volunteer to come and help us with the app. Okay. Our app, I did find out over the weekend, if you've already downloaded our app, it is still going, still on, still works. But the app is not. I haven't been able to maintain it. I don't understand it. Quite frankly, it's a little above my knowledge base, and I need help. I need someone who can come in, step up, and take that app and really help me maintain it, help us maintain it, and make sure it's something special. We're looking to make that, somebody to come in 5 hours a month. That's it. I just need somebody for 5, 10 hours a month to come in, look at that app. Hell, you want to come in, you want to volunteer 20 hours? Do it. I don't care. 5, 10, 50, whatever. But just come in, volunteer, help us maintain that app, help us get that app up and what it should be. Because right now, it's not even close to what it needs to be. So I desperately need your help with that. Getting back to what we've been talking about. Look, Les is offering us this course. at a special rate if we can get together, if we can get a group together and do this. I do believe that this is well worth it. And I'm looking for enough people to where we can get that special rate and we can do this. To do that, I need your help. And not only are we going to be able to take this course, but if you join us in taking this course, you're also going to be able to give a portion of that $275 to the mission partner of your choice. So, like everything that we do, look, if we make anything from this, we get to give some of it away. And we're going to give away the majority of it, okay? So, 75% or 70% of whatever Les gives us is going to go towards something else. It's really quite simple, okay? We want to make a difference in someone else's life, and you can help us do that by joining this course. And we've got a lot of new people joining right now, which is great. I love it. I'm so happy that people are finding out about what we're doing, and they're really kind of catching in right at a perfect time. I'd like to invite you to come in, join what we're doing, see what we're doing, come and make a difference with us. This means so much. This could mean so much to so many people. I mean, that's the only way I can say it. This truly does mean so much to so many people. And simply by you becoming a partner, you make your sales count for something so much more than just a transaction. People come in, they, he's mad. Somebody's running water. Anyway, you come in, people come in, they utilize your services. You do business, you make a little bit of money, and we get to support other people in the community. One of the other things that we're doing, you see the QR code up in the corner? That is for the Come Together Compass. We need your help to get it up and running. We've got a couple people who have stepped up and volunteered to give us a few things. And so if you donate, you have a chance to walk away with a couple really cool prizes.
Hi, friends, it's me, Barry. And today I get to share something truly special with you. Our friends at Dignified Dementia have given us a beautifully crafted fleece-lined blanket. It is soft. It is comforting. It is made with the kind of care that reminds every family they are not alone. And that is only the beginning. We have also been gifted a powerful and magical book set from Erin Anatavi, complete with a hand-painted wand she designed herself. It honors the truth that one size does not fit all. On May 6th, we will spin the wheel of giving. Every dollar you donate is one placement on the wheel. $1, one chance, one act of kindness that helps us bring the Come Together Compass to life. Your support guides families to the help they need. Your generosity keeps our mission moving forward. Your kindness makes you a hero in someone's story. So join me. Donate today. Let's fill the wheel of giving and bring comfort, magic, and hope to families everywhere.
So as you can see, we are now being joined by the rabbit Anubis. My rabbit Anubis. This is Max, everyone. He's newest addition to our family. So he's the loudmouth. He just wanted a little bit of attention, I think. So, but yeah. Use the QR code up in the corner. Donate whatever you can. You donate $5, You get 5 slots on the Wheel of Giving. You donate 10, you get 10 slots. This will just help us be able to get the compass out quicker, inhabit it with more people, spread the word. Look, we're going to want to do a multi-state push out when this thing is ready. It's going to cost a lot of money. We also want to make sure that everything is done at the best level possible. We want this to be foolproof. When we get it up and running, we want it to be able to where somebody can get in there and immediately start helping people right away. But to do that, we need your help. So please scan the QR code, donate what you can, and help us with the Come Together Compass. What I want to do real quick is I want to take in, don't you dare. What I want to do is I want to take and play Les's information one more time about this 3-hour program that you can join us and teach your staff how to pick things up on your clients, how to better teach your staff how to use what they've already got to turn it around and turn it into success in sales.
What's our sales potential? We're all selling a product, service, or idea to someone. How would we see our life when we maximize our performance and profit? When we connect with our potential that we were designed into us? It allows us to experience not only our work, but also our relationships at an enjoyable level. The workshop and assessment give us a chance to get reacquainted with who we were designed to be by the universe or God or whatever our belief system. The 3-hour workshop is separated into 3 days so our brain can absorb the new motivation and behavior change. J.W. Wilson, my mentor and author of Cracking the Learning Code, was not only known as a world leader in this science, he built $21 million businesses and taught Mayo Clinic's doctors to connect with their patients, among many other things. This is Les Simpson of Enhanced Team Performance. Below in the details is a flyer of the workshop, also with white paper and testimonial of the assessment. Included is a video link to my assessment. It shows who we are in all 6 areas of our life and was created in the 80s and was proprietary to the Fortune 500 for 30 years. Now I'm bringing it to companies and individuals that want to maximize their work and relationships. Get back with my team leader that sent you this video to join their workshop.
Thank you for joining us tonight for Community Impact on Wednesday, the 8th of April, even though my calendar behind me still says February. I just had to have that calendar too. Hello, Anubis. Hello, Anubis. But anyway, thank you for joining us tonight, and please, make sure that you utilize the QR code that you will see here up in the corner in just a second to reach out to Les if you want to talk to him about anything. If you'd like him to speak for you to any of your clients or any of your sales team. And remember, if you hire Les, you get to donate simply by paying his fee. Simply by hiring Les to come in and talk to your sales crew, you're going to be donating to something that you care about. Not something I care about, not something Les cares about. Well, we care about it, don't get me wrong. We care about it, but you get to choose where that money goes. You don't pay anything extra. There is no hidden fees, there's no markup, there's none of that. Les simply does business, gives us a referral, and we turn that referral into a donation to somebody who has asked us for help. It's that simple. That's the way the program goes. Scan, talk to less. Sales teams, sales leaders, get less on your side because, look, it's simply the best way to get people to remember things, to get people to understand things, to get people to love what they're doing because they get a choice on how they're doing it. It just makes sense. Makes sense for you, makes sense for your customers. I mean, could you imagine every customer being impressed because every time this person comes in, they're doing something that makes them feel better? Well, that's what this program can truly do. So I want to thank you all so very much. Look, if you would like to join us on Pact Podcasting, if you would like to come on and tell your story, I invite you to get a hold of me. My name is Zach Clayton. Send me a text, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. But the absolute best way to get a hold of me is via email. Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. I answer my emails. I do not always answer my phone. It gets turned off. And if it doesn't, you hear the ringing and beeping and everything that you've heard throughout this podcast. So I try to turn it off, and then I just simply forget to turn it on again. I went to go and answer a phone call the other day, a message the other day, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't even notice that I had a phone call from you. And they're like going, I didn't even remember why I called you. That was 4 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh, jeez. Ouch. The other reason why is if we need to have a phone call, I need to be in a quiet place in order to hear you. So please, just send me an email. It's so much easier. Zach at communitypayitforward.us. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Please, make sure you love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Always remember that if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. And I implore you, never shut up, because silence has never helped anyone. If you need help, talk about it. If you can help someone, talk about it. Talk about your story. Your story is powerful. There are people out there who are going through the difficult times that you've been through. Whether you were successful or less than successful, your story still gives them something to think about. It still gives them something to consider. Because just because it didn't work for you does not mean it's not going to work for them. It's really simple, folks. Our stories are power. Our stories are a way to get others out of bad situations. So I invite you to please never shut up and come on to the Pact channel. Tell us your story. I'd love to hear it. And so would so many others. My name is Zach Clayton. Community Pay It Forward, the Come Together Compass, and Pact Podcasting channels, Pact Podcasting networks. Sorry. And I will see you on Monday morning with Footprints Forward. Again, if you'd like to share your story, please reach out to us. Also, you can now find the Red Friday shirts easier. Just go to communitypayitforward.us, communitypayitforward.us, and right up top of a good majority of the pages, you'll see a banner that says, get your Red Friday shirts here. Get your Red Friday shirt, because remember, everyone deployed is not about politics. It's not about the war. It's not about a religion. It's about the kids. The kids that are out there every day away from their family. It's about their families that are missing people every day because they're out serving our country. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Please be safe. And again, please love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you.
Bring me home, out alone, to show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part of Sunset Boulevard.